Okay, so we're back for Vindland Saga, episode 18 this time, I believe. Woo! What a, this episode, it's baller. Not as baller as last week's episode 17, but this is a good episode. Now, we finished off, if you remember, the small little plot line with Arnhes and her husband. That's taken care of now. That little mini arc's done. This episode, we're not quite at the war yet. But this is, I assume next episode, 19, will be like the start of everything. Because this is just the setup. We got one final setup before, bad shit happens. And this is it, right? It is quite, crazy shit happens. Things that people probably would have thought of that would happen. The eventualities of the consequences our characters have brought upon themselves. Things get kind of crazy. And I'll just say here, Master Keatle, not the man we thought he would be, though he's under a lot of stress, okay? So let's just start right now. So here we just get, even just like before the intro and before everything, we get a little scene here of our, Canute and his compatriots just going back and forth, talking about what they're going to do with Keatle. Floki, we get like instances of Floki here, instances of his betrayal, saying how, he's not really, he doesn't, he believes he's on par with Canute. Like, he's an ally. He does not serve Canute, but he's here to help anyway because their goals align in some certain respects. And Canute's just like going through the motions, like, hopefully, they surrender. If they don't, I'll just kill them all. It's like Canute, no mercy. All right, the man, in his devilish ways, in his conniving and scheming, he doesn't really care. He doesn't want to kill them, but he will if that, if their choice, right? So we get some nice scenes between them, nice dialogue. They're about 3 days, I believe, from actually being the island. After that we go back. Finally, our boys, they made it. They made it back. Here they are. Here they are, our boys, Keatle and his sons. They finally made it back. Leaf and Bug Eyes are also there. They're finally here. They made it. Finally, it's been so long. A lot of shit is happening on the island. They're about to like find out like exactly what's here. Before that though, we have Thorgal, I believe, Keatle's son. It just comes up to them. All these people here, just like, get ready, boys. It's time for war. It doesn't explain anything. He's like, let's fucking go. He's like, he's got a lot of things on his mind. He's got a lot of things to do. Clearly, Keatle is just still like distressed about everything. Thorgal is like absolutely ready. He might even yeah, Thorgal, right? Am I getting his name wrong? Yeah, Thorgal. He's just absolutely ready. We already know he's a menace. He loves war, and this is everything that he wants. He doesn't really care about anything else. He tells Omar to like come up with him. He just doesn't tell anyone like what's happening. Leaf and like his merchant compatriots like, wait a minute, where are you guys going? We want our money, please. Please come back. Wait, what about our money? We didn't bring you here for free. Obviously, they're under stress too because King Canute will like come after them if they figure out that they brought them here. Lots of things going on, right? Thorgal brings Omar with him and just tells him, stay close to me during this. This is your first battle, even though it doesn't really matter because our opponents are probably gonna kill us. Isn't everything you've been waiting for? War, right? Come on, aren't you excited? Omar's like, no, not really, brother. He still hasn't said anything since the last time we saw him. Man, his character development is really like taking a new turn now, isn't it? No longer the like shit ass that he was before. Anyway, regarding that, we're gonna go. Keatle sort of coming to his senses now that he's like on his town. He's like, holy shit, where's Arnhes? I need her. I need Arnhes. Where is she? And very soon he's gonna find out what happened. So here we go. Not Snake. Foxes. The few warriors that are like left. Thorgal has like commanded them to like, basically fix the areas here, make them more defendable, and they still haven't like told them like what's actually happening. And they're just like, what? We gotta like fix everything like right now. We don't have time or like the men to do that in a few days. That's kind of crazy. We also just lost five precious warriors. Like our forces are kind of weak here. What the fuck is going on? they're just like, we don't know. Thorkel's like, well, he's gonna tell us later after he's like gathered everyone. It's crazy. Thorkel's just like a menace. Like doesn't fucking tell anyone. He's gonna pick like the perfect time to like tell everybody what's happening and what they're all gonna do. It's all right. So, but this is where basically we'll cut back here after they're having their conversation. So Einar and Thorfinn have been captured. After obviously they would though, because just the shit they did, right? Of course they would be captured. They wouldn't be allowed to do stuff. But they haven't been beaten yet, but obviously, this is their situation now. They're just talking about like. The situation that happened with Arnhys, and Thorfinn doesn't like that he had to use violence. He doesn't like that Arnhys' husband used violence, and but like Thorfinn's just like violence should be used as a last resort here. This is something that like Thorfinn is very naive. I've talked about it already, but like at what point do you use your last resort, right? Because Arnhys' husband was like totally willing to just kill people, and it literally was. He would have killed that entire town to get to her. And Thorfinn is just like, okay, again, at what point do you use violence? If your enemy is literally non-negotiable, it's literally something that you can't discuss with them. Then you have to put them down in some respect, Thorfinn. That otherwise more people are gonna die. That's just what's it's just reality. It's just he needs to understand that, and he will to a certain respect later. But we're gonna get to that like way later down the road. But not right now. He's still like mulling over his new perspective of the world and stuff like that. So bringing that, Thorfinn and Anna are just discussing that. They're worried also about like, oh, now that the Master's back, what the hell is he gonna do to Arnhys? And they're just like, oh no, who fucking knows? Hopefully, he won't go off on her. However, we're about to find out very soon. So Ketil comes back to the house. And just he's just out of his mind, right? He's like, Arnhys, where the fuck are you? She's not here. And he goes back to his hag wife, and she tells him the story. He's like, oh yeah, Arnhys, she tried to escape. Someone from her past came by and tried to take her. She had help from Thorfinn and Einar. That wretched woman, fuck her, basically. After all you've done for her, screw her. And obviously he's just blindsided by this information. Ketil is he does not know really what to do until he like finally like loses his mind. He snaps basically. I mean that was a weak ass snap. We get a better. That was also a weak snap. There we go. My left hand and my right hand, boys. That obviously he snapped. He is beyond the compel right now. He is not having it. He's extremely upset. He after the things that have happened with Canute and now this. He's going to take drastic measures into his hands. We're going to get to that literally right now. Before that, though, actually, sorry, my bad. Leaf actually, finally, the timelines are converging, people. Finally, Leaf is here. He is here with Podar and Bug Eyes. He's like, hey, the master said we can take them. Come on, let's go, Snake. Snake is like, what are you talking about? No, the master isn't here. He hasn't told me that. I am not letting these prisoners go. I don't know who you are. Obviously, this is like common sense for Snake because he doesn't know who these fucking dudes are, and they're asking for Thorfinn and Einar, who just caused a huge ruckus in the entire village, right? So he's not gonna let them go easily. That's all right. Leaf is like, all right, fine, we'll go get the master and come back. Pater, talking to Leaf, he understands. He's like, oh, you're taking Thorfinn? Please do me a favor. Also, just take Einar with you and Arnhys. If you have a surplus amount of money, I know you're a merchant, please buy them. He's scared for Arnie's. He's also scared for Einar. But Partar's obviously nice. He's known Einar and Thorfinn, since they were on the farm, right? So they came together. They're and Partar's like the head of the what would you call it? He's like head of like management or something like that. I don't know. Like of the slaves. He was a former slave. We know this. And he's just like he's friends with them. He wants them to like be together. Hopefully the master won't do something. He understands the master will keep his promise because that's what he does, but he's still scared, for that for Einar and Arnhies. So he's just asking them. Leva's like, yeah, I'll do that. Doesn't matter. Completely fine. Obviously, they were right here the whole time. If you just went in there, finally we had some words with Thorfinn and Einar. We actually don't get any between them. No heartfelt moment between Thorfinn and Leaf in this episode, even though they do meet by the end of it. I guess they just sort of skip that dialogue. I assume next episode we'll finally get some um, scenes between them where they can actually talk to each other. Because Leaf is very important to Thorfinn, obviously. He's known him his whole life, right? Anyway, besides that, finally, the pivotal moment here. Arnhes, of course she got captured, guys. What did you think happened to her? She didn't go anywhere after her husband died. She just stayed there. They got her back. What did you think would happen? She'd ride off into the sunset? No. So, obviously, they recaptured her, and now she's just like in this barn where she's being held, waiting for the master. She's being taunted by this man here. Someone I would call him. His name is Fucker. That is exactly what his name is. He like literally. Like he's just teasing her, like you should be glad you're here right now, not because and the master didn't likes you, right? Otherwise you would have been raped by everybody, just like, and he's literally like trying to do that right now, literally like touching her and like bothering her. Lucky for Arnhes, I'm just kidding. Put that in quotes. Not lucky. The master comes right at time to like stop him. And be like, what the fuck are you doing? Get away! And he's got a big old fucking slave stick right in his hand. Hold on, let me see if I can get that big old meat stick. Yeah, there he goes. There's there's that slave stick. Carrying around that slave stick. Oh boy. He goes off. He talks about why would you do this? You're a thief. Everyone's a thief. He's also like conflating what's happening to Canute to like what happened to Arnhes now. Everything's just like not going his way. He's extremely pissed. He's so pissed that she would even try to like run from him because he thought, you know, she meant the world to him, in his delusional mind, right? Even though she's just a slave, but he believes that she belongs to him, which technically she does. But this is, he goes off. He starts hitting her ruthlessly. He's like, what was everything all for? You would just run from me. And Arnie's at this point, after being like beaten a little bit, is like, please. She turns onto her stomach. Please don't hurt my belly. There's a baby. It's your baby, please. And he's like, is it? Why should I believe you? And he just starts. He doesn't care. He starts crying. He's like, I don't care. I believed in you. You ran from me, but I don't believe in you anymore. Fuck you. And he starts massacring Arnie's. It's a pretty brutal scene where he just fucks her up, immensely. You could see the pain in his eyes. But don't worry, he doesn't kill her yet. He a foreshadowing, maybe? I don't know. Is it? Snake comes by. He's like, hey, he just, grabs the stick. And he talks to him. He's like, hey, she is your property. Flogging is a punishable offense for what she did. But if you go, too far, you'll incur the death penalty. Obviously, Snake doesn't know what's happened with Canute, as if the death penalty matters, for his situation at this point. But again, Snake doesn't know that just yet. But he's like, also, she is your property, and if you want to do that, you will kill her, and you'll also kill the unborn child in her belly. Snake's like, if that's what you want, I'll let go of the stick, and you can do that. But at this point, Keto's like looks at her. He's like, no, never mind. He lets go. And he's like, okay, I'm leaving. And he's like, pat her, treat her wounds. And he's like, oh, he still cares about her in some way. This is where Leaf takes the opportunity to like, listen. I know you're giving me Thorfinn and Einar. Please let me buy Arnhes if you don't want her anymore. I can buy her for you. I can buy all of them and get them out of your hair. And Ketel is like, no, absolutely not. You can take Einar, you can take Thorfinn, bring them wherever you want. I don't care. Arnhes, she is mine. That woman is my property. So he is just out of it. Yeah, he's snapped now. He's not the man he was. Not the man we thought he was. But they obviously Ketel's being pushed, to the edge right now. He's under a lot of stress. He's under a lot of pressure. If the thing with Canute was happening, would he have been this harsh on Arnhes, even though she's still here, right? I would say probably not, but obviously that's not the situation we're in right now. Obviously the events that happened have happened, can't go back, and this is the deal, right? So this is the deal. And this is the part where like Thorfinn and Leaf finally come together, and it was like there's no like actual talking scenes between them, but they're just looking at Arnhes, and she's beat the fuck up, like on her deathbed essentially. Patir's like, yeah, she's alive right now, unconscious. I have no idea if she's going to survive. Her injuries are severe, severely severe. Is her baby okay? We don't know. We'll find out later. We'll find out later, boys. I would venture to guess no. Okay, but that's just the situation. Einhar is obviously like super concerned. He's like, this isn't fair. This is absolutely horrible. This should never have happened. It's unforgivable, right? Anyway, we go back to Ketel and his sons. Thorgel's like, hey, where are you going, Dad? We got things to do. And I need armor. Where are you going? He just goes into this little treasure chest here where he finds his sword. And he's like, I don't care anymore. Come after me, king. I will kill you. So, we know from the, I believe, way, like, in the beginning of the series, all that stuff, but the rumors of him being Iron Fist Ketel, those are all a lie. He's a phony. But, he has this sword, right? Is this his father's sword? He hasn't even seen his father yet. We would assume he knows that his father's, like, on his deathbed as well. But, like, is he actually ready for this? We know he's strong, but, like, can he do this? Has he actually ever been in a fight? We'll find out soon, boys, because I believe the next episode is the one. That's it for this episode. Oh, by the way, the piano goes hard in, like, some scenes. Especially, like, the music is incredible in this episode. There's some great animation as well. We're there. We're almost there. Literally, we're, like, the series is almost done. Like, we only have, like, 5 more episodes left, really, after this. It ends at, like, episode 24. So we're almost done with this second season. This season's been a wild ride so far. It's been pretty crazy. Lots of character development changes. Lots of great animation, and we're finally gonna get to the final act, the final arc for this whole second season saga, and we're almost done, guys. All right, so I think I'm done rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day, and see ya.